have to start from my so-called life partner not being there for me the one time that I needed him. And when he choked me when I was having my baby, I knew that God blessing me to have my first child clearly wasn't something that he was interested in, and I needed to leave to be safe. And upon me doing that, I thank God every day, because my baby never grew up seeing the abuse that I endured from such a terrible relationship and a so-called marriage. I remember when Noor turned 9 months, and she was first able to go by my ex-husband's home for a visit. And when she came back, I remember when I was witnessing odd behaviors, precocious behaviors from my daughter, and not knowing what to do at the time, I turned to the best person for Noor's care. I took Noor to a pediatrician. I then explained to her pediatrician about the behaviors that I was witnessing, and the pediatrician advised me to record by camera or by voice, whatever I could. I followed my pediatrician's advice, and I recorded my daughter on my cell phone while she was imitating these behaviors. I was just crying out for help and just doing what I was advised to do. While Noor was imitating these behaviors, I was frantic. I was worried. I was panicked, and I was told, upon being told that this is what I had to capture my daughter doing for her to be helped. I thought that's just what I was doing, but when I showed it to the police, it was completely misinterpreted and misconstrued that they just deemed it inappropriate, and it went on to the other agencies, which spiraled totally out of proportion and made my life a disaster, ripping the light out of my life. As a result, the police notified ACS, and ACS conducted an investigation on me, wherewith they brought the matter to court immediately, saying that they needed to remove my child from me. And after that, the ACS worker came with 2 police officers. After I picked my daughter up from daycare, I didn't even have time to make dinner or anything, and the banging just came at the door. The 2 police officers came in with the ACS worker, and I get told that I have an order of protection on me from my daughter, and that was it. I didn't see my daughter after that. The ACS worker said to me that your mentality is being questioned for the welfare of your child, and it's required immediately for us to take the baby away. I had no life. I had no life. I had no name. I had no purpose. It was like ripping the roots off of a tree. My father contacted the Bar Association, and the Bar Association referred him to an attorney by the name of Donald Schechter. We got the number, and we called and scheduled for the consultation, and that's where the fight began. One of the hardest things when we first began the battle was that I hadn't seen my child in almost over a month. It was ripping me apart, and I brought this to the attention of Mr. Schechter, and he jumped on it right away and made it known in the courts that no visitation schedule had been set for me. And so that began this first step to me seeing my baby and bonding back with her again. As things progressed, it became more and more unbearable, because there were obstacles coming from the agencies, from my ex-husband, and from all odds and ends. But through it all, Mr. Schechter's advice and counseling and his constant fighting for me to see my child and be with my child, we were able to overcome all of that, and that resulted in me getting my baby back. Now I have the drive, the extra urge to live my life, because now my life is complete. I have my supportive family, I have my loving baby, I'm totally complete. I'm very content. Thank you, thank God, thank you, Mr. Schechter.